Thank you so much for inviting me to speak today, and welcome everybody to what may be a really exciting time for you as you proceed forward with this course. I have absolutely loved doing this course. It's really been such an exciting and interesting and really a massive learning opportunity for me. So I really do rate it as an opportunity for you to undertake. It's been really exciting. Um, as you know, Christina's already said, the 3 units broadly cover periods and art movements through from like the 900s through to contemporary art. So you get exposed to a lot of different periods of art movements, and and the historical context that goes alongside those. So really quite a fascinating romp through the last kind of 1,000 years or so, but really, really good. And you do go into enough sufficient depth as well, so you don't sort of feel as though you've gone too quickly, which is great. I think what's really interesting and exciting about the way the course is kind of set up is that you engage in the art periods, but you also have these like ongoing themes. And so not only do they help you sort of have something to hang onto in your exploration of the arts. So if you're sort of in doubt about a particular period, you can really focus on these themes. I myself not overly familiar with the kind of early modern period, and so the theme of the kind of intermediality, intertextual sort of elements for me were really helpful as a way of understanding those and unlocking those and kind of inviting conversations. So you sort of get guided through stuff that you may not be familiar with, and you don't need to be. Okay, so kind of useful to from a student perspective. I sort of went into them and thought, I'm going to look like really foolish doing this because I just don't know enough about it. But actually, not only do you get taught, obviously, so you get kind of a good introduction that way, but also there are these themes that you can engage with and ways of thinking about things and questions to be asking yourself while engaging with it. So you never feel sort of like you haven't got something to kind of hang on to, is maybe a way of thinking about it. So the way that the essays are set up as such that you can also really engage with the particular periods, the particular kind of ideas or themes that come out of those, but equally because of these themes, you can also engage in just the thematic element as well. And so for example, for the first unit, the theme of intermediality really interested me, but I wrote about a contemporary artist of Dorothea Tanning and a sculptural piece she did, which was highly intermedial, lots and lots of bits going on. And so, I really engaged in the theme specifically. So, but that's not to say that, to be honest with you, I ended up writing about 1,000 essay questions in every unit because there's just so much to explore. You almost have to sort of narrow yourself down. There's so many interesting things to do. And I think in a way also, my trepidation about sort of lack of familiarity with particular periods, unit 1 and unit 2, were just, I was a bit nervous going into them, has actually made me so much more interested in those areas than I ever thought I could have been. So when I in a gallery setting, say, I'd always be sort of drawn towards contemporary art, and I'd just be like, kind of avoid those rooms maybe and wander through them quite quickly. The course has definitely shown me a way, not only a way of engaging with them, but things to think about, things to notice. All of that has been really helpful. So I now sort of take my time in those rooms because I have access to a way of understanding them that I didn't previously have. So I think that's a really nice thing about the course as well. The nice thing about Cambridge, I think it's important to kind of, I suppose, think about why here and why Cambridge in particular from a student perspective as well. It has such a wealth of resources. I think that can't be understated, both in kind of physical archival research you can do, the stuff you get to actually see and hold and touch as part of the course is slightly overwhelming, but in a really nice way. You're sort of leafing through books that are from the 900s and you think, oh my goodness, this is so old, and it's a little bit frightening at start, but then when you get used to it, you're sort of like, this is just so fascinating that Cambridge has got this kind of on in stock and ready to go and ready to use. If that's an area of interest for you, then this is such a great place to be. But equally with the number of museums and galleries and everything that this place has, you just have so much as resources to use, let alone your kind of college resources in their libraries and the UL, the university's library as well. They've been so helpful whenever I've been, I need this resource. They're just straight away, almost like a within 24 hours response. They're like, here's an electronic copy of it. So they are really good and supportive. Second year dissertation I'm sort of doing now. So my immediate reaction to that is that it's a really nice opportunity for really deep dive into an area of interest for you. So the 3 essays that I wrote allowed me actually to just kind of, I was already sort of slightly interested in something, and it just, the course unlocked a way of thinking about it that I hadn't really thought about, and suddenly I was able to just really deep dive into areas that interested me. The dissertation gets so much deeper. You really concentrate your efforts, and you produce something original and new and exciting, and contribute to kind of the discourse of the field. So it's a great opportunity to do stuff like that. And the only final thing I'll just say, I don't know if I've gone over time, I probably have. But the only other thing to say is just the cohort experience has been I don't want to say the best part of the course and upset my tutors, but one of the best parts about the course has been the cohort experience. We have like a range of people on the course from a range of backgrounds. So I came from English literature into the history of art space. Colleagues of mine came from fine art. Others, some people do come from history of art. So if that's you, you're also obviously welcome here. But equally, some people have come from history. Some people are coming completely from a totally different area and are just really interested in history of art and want to learn more about it. And I think that's also a really nice part. And we come with these varied perspectives, and that makes conversation so much richer, actually. So people with different disciplinary experiences come to this in with different perspectives, notice different things, come with different theories maybe, or different ideas, and it just makes the conversation so much better. Different life experiences as well, right? So that's really exciting, and I think that speaks to the age range that we have on the course and things like that as well. It's we're at different stages, and we can all help each other in different ways, and I think that's quite nice. The people on the course are genuinely friends of mine now. We like meet up outside of the course and go to galleries, and we keep in contact via like WhatsApp and things. And there's just such a nice atmosphere. People sort of saying like, "How are your dissertations going?" And if someone sort of says like, "I'm really struggling with this," someone straight away to come in and help them. And there's just that nice collegial experience to it. So the cohort is such a lovely part of the course, and I love my cohort. They're so great. So I think that's everything I was going to cover, and everything you maybe wanted me to cover, Lydia. Hopefully